Yes, the three finger technique, and that's another beauty with Jose Silva, work and the techniques, right? You have those ones that require more time, right? And you have those ones that are just quick, like on spot. You don't need to even, So the three finger technique is one of them, and then the clock technique that I use a lot in my business setting, and I'll mention the clock technique. So the three finger technique most of the time is come to me intuitively, like during meetings with the team, meetings with clients, or where you just get this inside voice. You know what this person is saying. There's something not right. So instead of sitting there trying to use the logic and figure it out, are just very quick. And like you said, right, it's not something you need to be in people's faces and put to the. Sometimes I actually go with my right hand because my stronger hand, right? So that it have, so I go, oh, okay. So I go with it and, in my pocket, under the table, I have just that. And then because I'm at level, people sometimes eyes open. People sometimes think you're dreaming or you're out of the place, but you're not. You're still listening and figuring out things that you may be missing with your logic. So yes, the three finger technique during meetings with client, meeting with even the team and all that, is a powerful tool because it doesn't require you to do something magnificent or something big or to take like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. No, it's right there in a couple of seconds, no more than maybe 2 minutes. You just, connect, you go to your center, by just putting the three finger. Working internationally, the clock technique is very powerful too because we all
I don't know
know.
what the clock technique is.
Yes.
No, you.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, okay. So the cloud technique is very powerful because science is proving to us how waking up in a harsh way, right, with alarm and all that, is not just helping. That's why even in our seminars, right, for each more than 15 techniques that you will learn during 4 days, we have that phase where we actually bring you out because it's always good to come out smoothly. Same thing, then when you're sleeping, it makes no sense to have an alarm waking you up because that's very harsh on the body, on the mind, and then your spiritual or subjective dimension. So the alarm is something, the clock technique, sorry, is something that, business-wise I use because working internationally with 4 hours, 5 hours different, sometimes I go to sleep, but I don't want to, I know intentionally, I don't want to use the alarm. I use the clock technique. Very simple, right? And then I actually wake up either a little bit earlier, but never after the time. And it's just amazing. I don't remember how many years now that I've been never used the alarm. So I wanted just to slide that in as another technique, very quick. Before you go to bed, don't worry about being tired. It doesn't require you that much. You visualize, the time you want to wake up and all that. But during the immersion, we take you through the process on how to do it the proper way. But not long. Even if you feel so tired, a couple of seconds, you go to bed, and you will be surprised how the brain, your alpha level, because right at the time to go to sleep, we all know that science is proving that we are already in alpha. That's why nobody, I'm tracking my sleep with an app. It takes me maximum 5 minutes to fall asleep. In 5 minutes, I go to bed. I already, I'm gone. So the cloud technique, is one that I will add as a quick technique to use beside the three finger.
Yeah. By the way, I digressed while you were talking mentally because I saw what you were wearing,
Yes.
and I don't usually wear things like this. I had an accident
Yes.
recently, pretty serious, and one of our nieces sent me this
Yes.
about healing and so on. Plus, I like Tiger's Eye, and
Yes.
I wear it more because I thought that was so sweet and so caring of them to do that. Much like this, my daughter, another situation, sent this to me
Yes.
as a gift, and I'm
Yes. I've been, we're not going to digress, but I've been always a fan. I don't remember when actually I put a tie, But necklace are a reminder for me that, by ourselves, we teach this too in the source, the droplet, right? By ourselves, we're nothing. But if, as human, we actually are very strong in coming together, right? We'll see how much we can realize, right? And nature actually teaches us that too. You take water, you take the ocean, one droplet is nothing. But many droplets put together is just a powerful thing. Same thing with necklace. That's the history. That's the analogy behind. And it's a reminder, right? You go through tough time, you just remember that I need other people to be able to move forward. So,
Well, thank you. I never heard it put that way about that, the symbology.
yes.
I really appreciate that. And here's an example. He's talking about 3 fingers and getting ideas. So there's a very specific curriculum in the Silva course. But how he presents it, how I explain it, how Amy explains it varies, of course. And I'm notorious after all these years because I have such a reservoir of knowledge and wisdom. I digress. But often it's really not a digression. It's appropriate. Somebody says, I'm so glad you brought that up. With respect to that. And this ties in, there's something we call the droplet of source energy in the class. It's like Silva went a little more spiritual. And the message is you're not alone. You're a small part of something more. And when you're in alignment with source, the universe, God, however you want to put it, that's when things happen. And the 3 fingers are also symbolic of that. That's funny. I use this every time. Like now, I'm sitting here like this.
Yes.
I give a class, and I study. I know what I want to teach, but you come up with ideas. You remember things that's filed away in the subconscious.
Yes.
You also mentioned dream control. We're teaching you guys, people, how to put your subconscious to work while you're sleeping, because it's all there. It's recorded everything, but it's not possible for anybody, in fact, it would be too much, to remember all the details from as far back. So we use this as a way to access knowledge and to facilitate that flow. And golly, we could go on and on.
Yes.
By the way,
That's why they need to come to the 4 days, because then you experience the immersion, right? And in deep, right? You learn those techniques and all that in deep. So 40 hours for 4 days, 10 hours a day. So it tells you how much you will be taking, when you actually take time to come to the immersion. And every time I have students in the room, you know what? I don't know why I spend my time just reading the book. This actually is the solution. I made it much better than spending 10 years reading the book. Many of the students, they will always actually confide, and I'm sure that other instructor will actually testify to this, because again, the 4 days setup is on purpose to help you actually live after the 4 days totally changed, totally transformed. So